As you mentioned Wilder, I should ask you, can he come again? Not necessarily in the next fight with Tyson, but in the future. Is there still something left in the tank? And the type of loss that he suffered, is that something a fighter can come back from mentally?
Uh, yeah, I think so. He's not. He's not like he's been. The stoppage was right because he was getting beat up in there, but he hasn't took a hell of a battering. Something that he can't come back from. Wilder, he's just his feet flat. He was square, and he was just. I don't know what his game plans was. He seemed to just, from the first round, it was all over for him, wasn't it? After the first round, you could see it was going all wrong for him anyway. Whether that's because he got hit and it was being took to him, and I think he just got genuinely took out of his stride because Tyson was coming onto him. He wasn't used to it. He's never had it before, and this is what I mean with a lot of fighters. They don't prepare for the worst scenario. All fighters at the very top should look at themselves in the mirror and say, what have I got to worry about? What am I not good at? And what they should is perfect what they're not good at. Not trying to have this macho image, I'm unbeatable. If I hit you, I'll put you into next week. Again, you should work on all of the stuff, not just what you're good at. And that's a prime example, as I see what happened to Wilder.
Mark Breland, who was in Wilder's corner, was in an incredibly difficult position before deciding to throw the towel in. Have you ever been in anything sort of similar? I know when Hughie was out in Bulgaria, for example, got cut very early on, wasn't taking a beating or anything like that. So I'm guessing you didn't really consider throwing the towel in. But have you ever been in that situation?
Well, I said to Kerry Casey, and I think Kerry Casey is probably the best, or not one of the best in the world at cuts. And I was talking to him outside of the ring when the fight was going on. And I said, what's your opinion with this? He said, it's no problem. He said, it's not dangerous to him. He said, the blood's been stopped. He said, the skin's just flapping over. He said, over the eyelid. He said, it's only bone underneath. He said, it's not going to affect his eyesight or nothing like that. He said, it's just the skin, the split where the eyebrow is. So he said, it looks worse than what it is because it's flapping over his eye. He couldn't see. He said, but apart from that, he said, it's fine. So we just let it go on. You can't be one of these that's squeamish when you see some blood in the corner. You see, when cuts happen in the deep, you do see a lot of blood. And you see a big open wound, it looks worse than what it is. But it's not, a lot of the times, it's not so bad. I think what you got to worry about is if massive swelling starts. That's the concern. But if it's not and the blood stopped, then it's not really that big of a deal. But getting back to Mark Breland with that fight, he did the right thing to stop it because he was going to get flattened, and then it's going to be a lot harder to come back because then he's been carried out. Rather than being stopped on his feet, because that was inevitable, was going to happen.
If you were in that position, though, would there be a worry in the back of your mind that the fighter would resent you for it, even though you know it's the right call? He might resent you. It might spoil your relationship going forward.
I think not really. I wouldn't. That wouldn't bother me. That wouldn't come into my mind anyway. If the fighter don't like it, tough. There's plenty of other gyms in the country. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I'm going to make a call what I see is right to protect that fighter. I'm not going to see the fighter die in there. If you're getting a systematic beating and you're not in it, and it looks like you could get brain damage, then pull the fighter out. Don't let him go on and go on and go on because it's not going to happen, is it?